Yes, how are you?
I'm good. Hi, Batte.
You have seen what has been happening. Electoral Commission denominating people. I think the last time I checked, we had how many? 14 unopposed members of parliament on the NRM ticket, and maybe even we are still counting because machinations are still going on. So how are you seeing things for you?
So far, there are some things.
We are not actually. I'm not asking questions. We are discussing as we are moving on. So don't make this one look like I am interviewing you.
So something that has that has interested me has been the fact that Electoral Commission is quelling people that it nominated after verifying their papers.
But is it the Electoral Commission quelling? It is not the Electoral Commission quelling. It is people, either voters or candidates. Because you see, the law provides for that. It says that if, for example, after nominations, these papers are available to everybody
But still,
to see and see whether actually somebody's candidature lives up to the dictates of the law.
To me, this is an indictment to the Electoral Commission because it had a time to review all these papers, academic papers, nomination papers, who is signing for who, and ideally this is what they had to do. On the nomination day, if you recall very well, we saw some candidates were delayed because of some issues here and there in their education, maybe academic papers, maybe their nomination papers. So if they could not arrest the situation then it means they were incompetent.
No, but I don't want to agree on that. Not that I'm actually doing the Electoral Commission's bidding. I am not. But the law provides for that. That after nomination, you have time to go through these papers.
But the law also provides that the Electoral Commission should verify. What do they do?
So, but does it mean that they have not done? But it also provides, because sometimes someone brings papers and they are actually looking well. You look at them, someone says he studied and he has a certificate.
For academics, I can give them a waiver or something like that. But for the nomination papers, somebody comes, says they have 10 people presenting them to, is it seconding?
Yes, no, to support the candidate.
Yeah, support the candidature. Electoral Commission was calling to verify each and every person. There are only 10 people per MP. Why what was Wakiso, they were calling these people to ask them, did you support this one's candidature? So then after nomination, we are seeing some people coming claiming, me, I didn't support that candidate.
But I'm sure, Chris, that everyone who sponsored the candidate by signing their nomination papers, that they were called.
That's the presumption. Because EC must verify.
No, but this is a new thing. It is not even embedded in law that if someone signs, then you have to call them and verify.
But we are calling out, at least where I was at Wakiso, they had a very big vote there, and we are calling these people. And some people, actually, some candidates were told that these signatures were brought will not pass because someone has said he didn't give a signature, or maybe some MPs were coming with signatures of people who are in different electoral areas. So, what did the EC do in verification? I put that one aside. Then the candidate.
But for me, actually, I think for me, Chris, that of course the Electoral Commission has I cannot say that I cannot blame them, but also it is working in cahoots with some of these candidates. Someone who comes, Chris has actually signed. And after someone says, how much am I going to spend on a campaign? Maybe 200 million. So he says, if I go and I pay Chris 10 million to say I did not sign for this person, and he withdraws his signature, it is actually much cheaper than continuing with the campaign. So I think for me, my problem here with the Electoral Commission is to allow a petition like that. And you saw that decision from Nyamtoro. The Electoral Commission said one of the grounds why it nullified the candidature of the new candidate, I don't remember her name. It said that the one person who said that who had signed again said that he could not have signed for and supported the nomination of the new candidate because it was NRM. Yeah, but that's not a reason for you to say that and the Electoral Commission, I expect Justice Byabakama. He's a justice of the Court of Appeal. I expect his level of understanding of the law and the basics of what is it, evidence, to be at least higher than this one. This one looks like it was decided by Chris who has no clue about the law. So I think there must be really real reasons, and reasons that are justifiable. I mean, that can be justified. When you go to, for example, when someone claims that I did not sign, have you subjected his signature to a handwriting expert to show that actually this person did not sign, this is a forgery? Otherwise, for you to just, for whatever reason, someone comes up and says, I did not. There is a guy in Kachumbala, Isiaji, is it Isiaji or Porot Isaac? That one, no, not Isiaji, Patrick Oporot, I think that's his name, the MP for Kachumbala in Kedi. He wrote a petition to the Electoral Commission and said 6 of the people who had nominated his opponent, Stephen something, had withdrawn, and they had even written an affidavit to say that we never signed. You see, I think the Electoral Commission should not just entertain such an affidavit without subjecting it to scrutiny. Is it true that this person did not sign?
There you are right, because at any point right now, if what the Electoral Commission did to say that maybe this one said I didn't sign and they didn't subject it to those tests you are referring to, any person right now can go and seek to see who signed for Baker and talk to them and tell them to say, I
did not, yes.
And that's it. That's what the Electoral Commission did in that case.
Yes.
That's very bad.
But also, there is a friend of ours here who said that you a candidate, you are only requested for 10 people. Really? You must be in a position to have 10 people who can never
their constituents.
Only 10. And you cannot even have 10 people who can stand in their ground and
else which you
cannot be bribed.
Also maybe deny. It is far-fetched, but it can happen. You know, some of these candidates, NUP has been peddling something saying that NRM is buying off their candidates to withdraw. But to withdraw...
It's not peddling, there is truth to that. You cannot say it's peddling.
You have not provided evidence.
No, but the lack of evidence is not evidence for no crime committed.
But it is very hard for a candidate who is sponsored by a party to just withdraw.
But they are withdrawing. Of course it is illegal, because if you are sponsored by a party,
it's the party
to withdraw your candidate.
Now, the other loophole which is available now is to go back to the nomination process. If you can convince Baker to withdraw from the race, and you see maybe you can have some legal challenges because the candidate sponsored by a political party, you can now go to seek other ways how you can negotiate this out. Maybe talk to the nomination. The nomination process. Say the two candidates, the one who is for NRM and one for the opposition, can agree, because you have said they are buying them off. Now, what's the other way of buying this one off without antagonizing the party?
I think for me, I think if a candidate has been sponsored by a party, if that candidate withdraws, when it is not the party that has withdrawn you, I think the party should reserve the right of putting another candidate. Because it is the one which is sponsoring. So if they sponsor you, Chris, in Democratic Party, the dead party.
The party is not dead. The
No,
party
it
is
is
alive.
dead. It is dead.
It's alive. We are just.
No,
it's just
DP
somewhere
died,
there.
It died. It was buried, and like I told you last time, where
Maybe
it was
we cannot
buried,
discuss
you would have passed the road. And
No
DP was disbanded. So we have no people who can tell us that DP was buried.
DP
It has
is
no
still
balance,
available.
like a Ben.
Though it has problems.
No, it died like a Benny. It has no grave. It has no tombs. But
will
it doesn't make. No, it's not Jesus that can rise from the dead. It is dead forever. But going back to what I was trying to say. If, for example, a party sponsors a candidate, and that candidate withdraws for one reason or another, the party must be in position to actually support another candidate. Because unless it is the decision of the party to withdraw a candidate, but if it has not, if it was not its own decision to withdraw a candidate, then should have a right actually to support another candidate. You see, take an example in Chotela, when the late MP died.
The mother to the
Yes.
to the MP, to mother to Fortunate.
Mother
I'm forgetting her
Fortunate,
name. Yeah.
What is her?
Forgetting her name.
Yeah, I'm also forgetting her name. The former MP for Chotela who died during COVID. She died after the nominations, but the party was given an opportunity to support another candidate.
think when
it also happened in
when a candidate
no,
dies,
sorry, first instance, it also happened in Kamuli when Watongola died, or Rahma Watongola died. The daughter, Baroda Kayaga something,
was nominated.
he was nominated even after the
But
nomination.
can you
was
see,
closed.
when a candidate who has been nominated dies, the law provides that the EC calls for fresh nomination.
Yeah, the point I'm making that actually even where a candidate who has been sponsored by a political party withdraws, the party there must be an opposite
because he was sponsored.
Yes, exactly.
And
the sponsoring candidate, I mean, the sponsoring organization has not said that we are not
in the first place.
I mean,
withdraw the candidature. Is it the candidate or the party?
Most of these ones, it's the candidates who are withdrawing themselves.
Is it legal?
No, I don't know, but many illegal things happen in this country. This country is full of illegality.
Because what I have read into that law, if you are supported by a political party, it's the political party that can withdraw that candidature. You cannot just wake up and say,
but they are withdrawing. I've seen a guy from the one in Kabarole. I saw another one. Is it in Kabare or they are about to? I've seen them, a couple of them.
Of course,
even during I think the was it the by-election in Karamoja? I don't remember the district properly. The new candidate still withdrew, even when they know that it's the party that's supposed to them.
But still, for you can just maybe say you pit the political parties. If you have a candidate, he's registered, and he says I'm withdrawing, you can't just hold them there like at ransom. Say no, you can't withdraw because this person is not ours. Even if God forbid he remains in the race and he wins, it's not your candidate.
So what are you saying? So in essence, what are you saying?
When someone says I've withdrawn, the party should just give up on that.
I am not in disagreement with that. But what I'm saying that if that happens, the party should be in position to support another candidate. So the Electoral Commission should be in position to open up a nomination so that the party can have another
But then
candidate.
there is something else. I don't know. Last time when we were discussing, when we had such a talk, I told you about how NOP select candidates. To me, I think they miss some criteria. This is a party that has picked candidates who are withdrawing. How did you vet this candidate? And before the nomination, I remember, was it Mwanga Chivombi, who was claiming that they know NRM is sponsoring some people to get the NUP ticket so that they can withdraw afterwards, and it's happening.
But it is very hard to go into someone's heart and see what they are thinking. Yesterday I was reading about a new technology where they can send a chip to your brain to read your brain to know what you are thinking. But until that happens, I can't read what is in your mind. So when you withdraw, the party has done some the basics, because you see many of these places you had candidates who are competing with others. So someone has brought his papers with another person, and you looked at them, and actually they are more credible they are more formidable than the other one. You choose them. So you have dispensed your duty, and they are looking for candidates throughout the country, not only in one constituency. If it is a by-election and you get a quack person, maybe. But you see, I want to cut them some slack that sometimes it is hard to know what people are thinking. And political, when it is this political, what is it called? When we're in a marketplace now, what are you selling? We are selling politics, we are selling things. So it is very easy for people to sell themselves in the current situation. So you don't be so hard on anything. But also, by the way, Chris, look at this, those ones who are being registered. Those ones whose academic qualifications are being questioned in describing
Now, whom are you going to blame on that one? Are you going to blame Electoral Commission again? I think on this one, Electoral Commission, but still they have something to be blamed, but not a big magnitude. Now, the case of Walukaga, I'm very perturbed on how the things went on Busiro East. First of all, how was this guy nominated? If what is being said, alleged is true. His age mature age certificate, entry certificate expired in around June, because he had done those examinations around February 2023. If it expired, what did the EC base on to nominate him? I've seen a paper flying around indicating that he had got a letter of verification from National Council for Higher Education, which same National Council for Higher Education has come out to say that it cannot verify such a certificate when it has expired.
Walukaga should also excuse us for a moment. How do you go with the report?
And he's insisting.
They gave him a report. It's like you're not going to do pre-entry to a university to go and study law. Then URN is asking for a lawyer, and you bring the certificate. I mean, the results. You see,
I'm in the process of becoming a lawyer.
Please.
You are not yet one.
You know, the explanation that it is called pre-entry. I mean, it's called mature entry. It is something that helps you to go there. It is not necessarily a qualification.
But on any other given day, that certificate can be valid and can be used for political reasons. And there are very many MPs. I was talking with some of my sources in National Council for Higher Education, and he says you can't just believe there are very many politicians who are riding on that.
But why is it that people who are poor educated are the ones who want to become leaders? This one who Simanya after the video went to
the educated one, I've said,
you know what happened?
Not to come.
He comes from the village, he goes to Walukaga Institute, then from there he goes to all guitar singers institute, then he corrects all these ones, and he wants to be so. Why does the people who are properly educated? Because let me tell you, Chris, I am sorry people are not educated, but when you go for mature education, you have not learned. Because you see, even when you hear them speak, this one really went very late to school. So there are some things you must acquire within time. So why do you insist on becoming people's leaders when you are not properly educated?
They are the ones who have offered themselves to lead. The others
they offered themselves in that election. There is second is doing a PhD.
So let people of Busiro East decide whether they want someone who has this certificate or they want a PhD
why
holder.
Do you even have to choose yourself to say and you offer yourself?
That's the democracy.
So what is he going to do in Parliament? Let me ask you.
Beggar.
Let me assume that actually he is left in the election and is voted.
He's elected, yeah.
What is he going to do in Parliament?
Your guess is good.
Because Parliament comes from not talking.
I say nothing.
Parliament means to talk.
And he will not be the first person to do that.
No, because he is not being the first person, it doesn't mean that he should add on to those ones who are going to keep quiet.
So who is to blame? Huh? Is it the electorate? Is it the person who has offered himself?
No, both of them. If you feel that, you see, let me tell you, even you, Chris, you would want to say date Museveni's daughter, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's true. But you go, you keep saying, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this.
You disqualify yourself.
You automatically. Why is it that in these ordinary things, they ask for a job here in URN? I want someone who has this, who has this, who has
You look at the list of the qualifications.
You don't apply. So why do you then apply where you actually clearly know you don't have the qualifications that are needed for the job?
You know, someone has said that politics has been bastardized, and I think they might be true. We have now a crop of people who are, quote unquote, offering themselves to lead Uganda and maybe their constituencies and their electoral areas. The ideal should be get the best amongst yourself and make him the leader. But right now we are getting the worst we have in the community to lead us. And on all electoral areas, you go and check and see who was elected and what are they doing. Look at who is elected councillors, who are elected chairperson LC3, who are elected chairperson LC5. Actually, listen, someone was saying, why do we still have no qualification, academic qualifications for LC3 chairpersons? Yet they are supervising someone who has a master's. The town clerk is supervised by somebody. Literally anybody can come out of the blue. Not to say that somebody who has not gone to school doesn't have much to know, but the ones we have seen, at least, they justify that we don't need somebody who hasn't gone to school. But the problem is, you people who have gone to school.
No,
you
the
have refused
problem,
to come
no,
to offer
Chris,
yourself for leadership.
Chris, when you get an accident moving in a bus or in a car, huh? You don't ask to walk to the hospital or to take a border border. Still, they will put you in another car to take you to hospital. So for you to say that because you have been failed by one educated person, therefore educated people are not important, hey, I think that is too much to a point to push. So I don't think that because you have been, because even uneducated people have failed us also. So what do we do with them? We throw them in Lake Victoria, what do we do with them? You see, so I don't think that because you have had disappointments with one group, then that one group is unimportant.
I think
therefore,
we just
you
have...
repress them. Imagine, let me show you, Chris.
Okay.
If, for example, you have an educated person, like myself, I will consider myself one of the most educated Ugandans. Now, you give me a thing and I disappoint you. Or you take me to parliament and I'm voted by 7. So what will happen to an educated person who has no understanding whatsoever what is going on? Because you see, for me, if I am in parliament from 7 to allow to make me pass any bill, he has to first bribe me to do it. For you, he will just tell you to pass because you even don't understand it. You don't even, yes, you are passing because you don't have an understanding of what you are passing, you just pass. So I don't think that if it is because human nature is the same. Even these ones you are bringing to us who are uneducated, who are all not properly educated, they will still fall in the same category like these ones. You get? But unfortunately for them, they will be as corrupt, but unfortunately they also don't understand exactly what's happening. Yes. So you would rather give me someone who is corrupt, but he understands what he's doing,
so we
than someone who is corrupt,
we
who
blame
doesn't
him
even
for
understand.
doing what he
Exactly,
understands.
because he is doing something, he understands and he knows he's making a mistake. But you are bringing people who will not even actually recognize that they are doing a mistake.
You might be right, but when to take you back, there is somebody who said that. You remember the wave? When the wave came, a lot of people came with the wave. That was the time when I think many people said the artists they were coming to partake in a electoral to be elected as leaders, and many other people who are not the usual elites also came along, and we have heard that it's now the new normal. Like how can I phrase it? We get mediocres.
But being an artist is not necessarily
yes.
But the thing.
Yeah.
So let me tell you, for me, I have interviewed the Honorable Chagrani many times.
Me too.
Yes. You see, he's an artist by occupation, by many things. But he's also very intelligent. Problem is that they want to bring to us artists who are not intelligent.
I agree.
You get? So you can be a musician. I have no problem.
When they say musician, they don't necessarily mean that you are not intelligent. But this is
and you know, by the way,
term used to describe something else.
Some of these musicians will say, whenever they are here. Do you know that many of the musicians, they actually, they don't write these things. Yeah. They don't think about them. Someone just give them, can you sing this? Just give a voice to somebody. To the words. Yes, to the words. So they are not necessarily actually intelligent people. But of course, they are really intelligent people. And I've told you, I have interviewed the Honorable Chagrani. I have heard him speak.
You can't deny that.
He's
you can't deny
that.
As
an intelligent man.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
And you can't deny that. So he was an artist. And so my problem is not necessarily
with not about the crop of people who came around that time.
I am interested. For example, you have a person like Judith Bavidi, who was an artist, who has many nice songs, but I don't think she even coughed when she was in parliament. I don't think so. You know, so my disagreement is not there that she's an artist, but what can she do when she's in parliament? You get? So that is my issue, surely. Even if she were not an artist, maybe she were, let's say, Mutembe somewhere. Yes. The argument is the crop of people who came around that time. Not necessarily about, I'm not talking about necessarily artists, but the crop of people who came around that time. There is something I was reading yesterday, and somebody wrote and said that there are some studies that have found that people in a mob, they adapt the IQ of the dumbest among themselves. It's something we are currently
experiencing.
What are we experiencing? I didn't hear that properly.
The writer said their studies have proved that when people are in a mob, they adapt the IQ of the dumbest among themselves. That's what.
You stop thinking.
Yeah, that's what's happening right now.
Chrissy, the people watching you. People you are, so
I'm unapologetic about that. I buy into that.
But let me tell you this. Of course, I am sure. Sometimes someone, because he's a singer, he believes that he's the same level like the Honorable Chagulanyi because he's also a singer.
No.
It is not true. Me, I have talked to this man. He's an intelligent man. You get. Therefore, I don't want you. And actually, when he's speaking to me, he is not fronting his artistry.
Yeah, no, never. He has never said so.
I don't want you. I was an upcoming artist there. Therefore, I also qualify.
Because even
yes, no, please.
Don't give us that. We will not eat
leading a country is serious business.
We need serious people.
We agree that Museveni has messed us up. It is true, and he's an NRM. But we don't seek to have his replacements who are worse than the ones who want to replace. So don't you think that you want to come to parliament simply because you are an artist, because the artist is the one who is leading the group? No, the artist was an artist, but he's very intelligent.
Yes.
There is something else.
So what are you going to present?
That's why you find someone, you ask them, other than being NUP, what else do you have? When you move NUP like this, they crumble.
They say, I have a card.
I have a card.
Have the card.
So I saw even them here when they were refusing.
But equally, these politicians are not only in NOB, even
everywhere.
Even NRM has a lot of them. You know why actually I normally talk about NUP, because for me, NRM is beyond reform. It's beyond. You can't redeem it. You see. So why do you waste your time on an organization that you can't reform? So I'm looking at these ones who seek to replace the NRM, because at least I think we have to tune them to what we want. Because the reason we want to replace this thing, because you can't reform it. Therefore, my emphasis is on those ones who are going to replace this thing that is reformed, to be reformed. So I want these ones who want to come to reform this thing called NRM to be actually better than them. Don't bring kwara because... So, Becca, when I take you back to the academic qualification issue, we are discussing that issue of Walukaga in Basilo East and him presenting mature age entry certificate as the minimum of senior 6. It is, on any normal day, it would be valid if it was still valid. But here is the catch. The certificate presented to the Electoral Commission, if the one which I have seen, it's invalid. But the gentleman says, hey, look, I'm here. I use this certificate and I'm pursuing higher education at a university. The National Council for Higher Education is saying, we don't validate semester results.
Yes.
We can only verify your document when the university has conferred to you a degree or a diploma. Now, the Electoral Commission, we are waiting for the white smoke. In Busiro East, people are waiting to see what's coming out. Meda Segona say would be the better candidate NOP could have presented to some people, but NOP decided to bring Walukaga for their own reasons.
Even to me, if not to some people, even to me, there is no comparison between Walukaga and Meda. There is zero comparison.
When you ask the new people, they say we're missing a
no,
point.
and even NUP people can be wrong. They are not God. That they are not wrong.
It's their party studies.
No, it is not their party. It is our party. It is our party. This thing is not because
but this is what they decided.
A political party is a public good, so you don't own it. By the way, do you know that I can go and stand against the Honorable Chagulanyi and defeat him? I'm not saying I can defeat him, but it is I can. The idea that yes can be stood. He has started his party, but you can go there and actually defeat him. So these are public goods. So don't tell me that because it is their party, it is our party. So
we
want a party.
Are you arguing that
No, I
on
think
Busiro East,
I think
they made a mistake.
By I think particularly in Busiro East, they made a mistake by choosing Walukaga. They should have chosen somebody else. Even in here in Kawempe, to choose in Nyanzi. You know, really, Parliament is not. Unless I don't know what.
But now you're talking about academic qualifications. Does not
necessarily academic, because
has the qualifications.
Let me tell you, I am in the university.
Is master
and part of the
master's
reason, let me give yes, he has a master. But one of the things I do in the university is, in my course, I have been teaching students, university students. But you and I interact with many people who teach university students. Not going to university alone is not enough for you to be educated. There are people who just come in the classroom, yes, but they have not learned, or they are actually very substandard. So going to school alone does not make you a good person, a person who understands stuff. Because even in a university, when I look at the results, you know, Makerere University can graduate like 15,000 students, but you find first class in less than 100. So the biggest majority of people are just middle people, mediocre, many of the people.
So are you arguing that we should be led by on the first class?
No, of course there is a reason. I saw the other day Sachs, Professor Sachs saying that when the CIA is choosing students, they would go to their economics class and choose the brightest, because the speed at which they think out issues is far much better, and also.
But you need also to have people who see things differently. Actually, I was reading one study. I think was it during those CIA things when they are recruiting. They mix.
It is true.
They should have somebody who has a different perspective.
Yes, because you see, when you choose only Harvard students, there is a particular way of seeing things, which is different from you who came from the village. Me who comes from town, the way I look at things differently. Even here, it is obvious that your take on positions is different from me, because you were a villager. You was born in town. Therefore, even in the newsroom, you need people who have different perspectives. It is important. Democratizing the media space, having all manner of voices. It is true. But having those voices does not necessarily mean that you have the worst. Because even within those voices, you can choose those ones who represent those voices. But then you are choosing people who have no voice at all. So I think for me, especially look at Kampala here, you are choosing candidates who are going to be at the forefront of your mission. You have to have first-class people who are going to be able to do parliamentary work. So you don't bring people from Bujuwakari here because I can speak to the traders. You go and be in Kisseka because that's where the traders are. Yes, that's where the traders are.
So, as you wait to see what the Electoral Commission will be deciding on this matter, for you, what's your final take on this?
No, you know, for me, I've never liked Walukaga as an MP. Maybe if he's there in the villages
of Maya as mayor of
Sanj, he's going to look at who has killed who. That's okay. But bring him here in Kampala to talk. I think it was.
Will he talk when he comes?
He say what? What is he going to do if he comes?
The unfortunate bit you have, Baker, is that when you put with subjects Walukaga and your candidate Medad,
no, I am not even doing that.
After, in Busiro East,
Chris,
your candidate might not win.
No, look here, Chris.
And that's the problem I have with democracy.
I saw Walukaga after the meeting. He could not even say what was there. In just 2 minutes, he struggled to tell us, oh, I read 500 questions, but it's like only one that came. He struggled to say that in proper English. Now he was speaking with the foot soldiers around him. Now he's going to go to Parliament where there are Polish people, where there are MPs like my MP Ibrahim Zamuju. So what is he going to say? Nothing, you know, as the day follows.
He will tell the Zamuju to speak for him.
So why is he there? So anyway, but that is how politics is. That is how democracy is. It gives you where David Lewis.
It gives you Walukaga at the same time.
It gives you David Lewis where it gives you Senyonyi, but also it has room for Walukaga. I think that was it for today, Chris. We are having conversation here with Chris, and just to refresh ourselves on
what's going on,
what's going on, the politics and what have you. Know that it was good having you. Was it me having you, or it was you hosting me?
We are having each other.
Okay, thank you very much.